All right, so here's something crazy that just happened. I'd be curious your take on it. So Mistral AI, it's an open source AI model. So for all intents and purposes, I mean, it's free. You can run it. It's made in France. It's kind of one of the big open source models that competes with ChatGPT. They just raised another $640 million.
Looking at it, do you like them because they're in France?
Actually, I'm going to go to France this summer, and I want to go interview them. So I'm going to hit them up. I haven't done it yet, but I think that'd be cool.
For everyone who has been following Jaden and doesn't know, he speaks French. He lived in France. He looks a little French. He likes French fries.
I do actually like French fries. This is true. But actually, French fries, not that good. Belgium fries, very good.
French toast,
maybe French toast. That might be the only French thing. No, I mean, this is insane. What's interesting is the whole company was co-founded by a bunch of people that came out of Meta, Google, DeepMind, and it's pretty much a rival to GPT-4o, Claude, Meta Llama 3. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, $640 million. What's your take on open source companies raising that much money? Will they stay open source and free forever? Like, what's their plan to repay that money? Or is this just like they're open source right now because it's cool? Once they get a bunch of users and people like their model, they're going to go closed source and that money is going to get repaid because they're going to monetize.
I think open source is a way to grow, right? It's like a marketing thing. Is it not? Is it not like a strategy to grow, to get developers?
It's not supposed to be, but that's what it's become. Unless anyone in AI complain about that, you all use ChatGPT, and that was literally the play they employed. So it's honestly, it feels like a lot of people are just watching the exact thing ChatGPT did, and they're like, well, they're still around and everyone still likes them, so we'll go open source and then probably closed source later as well.
Right. Here. I just signed into Mistral. I made an account and I asked it if it was better than GPT. And it says it's not really a matter of being better or worse than another AI model like GPT. Each AI model has its own strengths and weaknesses. And they're designed for different purposes. Some models may be better at certain tasks. Okay, this is a pretty safe answer. My goal is to provide helpful, accurate, blah, blah, blah. Feel free to ask. I'll do my best.
Is there a way to, first of all, their UI is like exactly copying ChatGPT, which is hilarious. Is there a way to pay for it? Is there anything like that you get a premium?
Let me see. Doesn't look like it. Archive chat, toggle theme. Oh, I got it to start bragging about itself. One advantage I might have over GPT is my ability to provide more up-to-date information. I am constantly learning and updating my knowledge base, which allows me to provide more recent, relevant information. That's cool. Oh, and it talks about GPT's cutoff in 2021.
Oh, wait, no, but it says my knowledge.
It's cut up. Oh, that's so dumb. You know, yesterday,
actually useless. Okay. Well, okay.
I asked ChatGPT something yesterday, and I realized the answers weren't going to be good. So I opened up, what's that one that we talked about before?
Perplexity.
Yeah, I opened up Perplexity on my phone. I voice talked to it. I'm like, are there any big deals going on in Tesla right now? Because I'm thinking about getting a Tesla. And yeah, like pulled up like recent deals. Like it's like, yeah, the Model 3 or Model S is like doing a 7,500 thing for like this month, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, thank you. What would the monthly payment be like on this and this at like a 6.2%? And it like just did that for me after. And I was like, this is so much better than GPT in a way because it's actually pulling data from like websites of deals now and doing all the math calculations for me. I'm like, okay, put that all in a bullet point for me. Compare it with like the Model Y if I did the exact same plan, blah, blah, blah. And I just did that on a walk home and I was just talking to it with my headphones and I'm like, this is the future, baby. I loved it.
That's awesome. Okay, I think, figure out how they're monetizing. So if you get the API access to Mistral, so a random person can just go use it for free, but if you get API access, then you have to pay for it. And so the thing you were just using, which they call Le Chat, yeah, they're putting their French spin on this. Le Chat is free, but yeah, you got to pay for it. And I think they're partnered with Microsoft Azure, so it's probably hosted there and run there. Okay, this is what their CEO said, Arthur Mensch. He said, I'm delighted to see new and existing investors renew their confidence in our business and provide new support for its expansion. This new round puts us in a unique position to push the frontier of AI and bring state-of-the-art technology to everyone's hands It guarantees the company's continued independence, which remains fully under the founder's control. That's interesting. He's I don't know what the terms of the deal is, but he's saying that I don't know what the terms are, but he's saying that they have full control, unlike OpenAI that literally kicked Sam Altman back out and he had to do like a whole PR stunt to regain control.
Interesting. Oh, there's so many of these. Hey, every podcast I listen to, everyone's so scared about like where to invest. There's all these ChatGPT startup. It's really hard to compete with GPT, dude. And I don't know if you've heard Sam Altman, but like he's like, yeah, with 4.0 and with GPT-5, we're gonna be steamrolling like every AI cool like startup that's going on. Like we're gonna steamroll. Like they're just gonna be like under our tires, man, because we're just gonna like the rate of advancement, like they're a behemoth. And so I would be so scared to try and build something general like this because I just feel like it's really hard.
Speaking of general, though, General Catalyst led their Series B round, they were actually a previous investor in them. Good segue, right?
That was a good one, dude.
Okay,
speaking of segues.
Speaking of segues, that's pretty much what you're buying when you buy your Tesla because that thing doesn't have a gas engine on it.
Oh yeah.
What makes you want to buy a Tesla? Model 3? And you know what the Cybertruck?
I don't know. I'm gonna try out the Cybertruck, see if it's cool, but that's a pricey one when there's some really good proven vehicles like the Model Y I think is really good. But I bought an Audi a couple months ago and I just took it into the shop for some stupid crap, and I don't know, I'm just upset because it's like ignition coils that went out, and then its oil consumption is like out
Bro,
of line.
you bought an Audi. What were you expecting?
Dude, they're awful. And I'm like, you know what?
I hate to offend our listeners, but BMW, Audi, these all have terrible ratings for maintenance.
It's insane, dude. And instead of just in my mind thinking, I'll just get a Toyota because those like last forever, I'm like, screw gas cars, dude. What is a fusion coil, or what the heck is a ignition coil? Like where is the carbon buildup in my engine? Why do we need explosions with carbon and stuff? Why can't we just do batteries now, man? Okay, here's the thing. I'm kind of an old-fashioned guy, though, but I don't know anything about cars. So I really like the idea of owning a gas, a diesel car, and an electric. I just think it's good.
I think I'm on board, too. Yeah. No, I'm on board with that, too. Beyond that...
You already drive like something that's a hybrid, don't you? You drive like a...
I had a Prius, sold it because the air conditioning was terrible on it. And in Arizona, the air conditioning is like actually your most useful feature in your car more than your engine. But I mostly drive a Tundra, which is horrible on gas. It's so annoying. But my wife needs the Honda Odyssey for the kids, so I drive the huge Tundra, this massive truck that. I drive 45 minutes to my podcast studio and 45 minutes back. So it's like an hour and a half of driving pretty frequently, like a lot of most weekdays. I'm under, like, my thing being old fashioned is I want to always own a truck or a vehicle that has like no like computery electronic stuff in there. Pretty much, like, I don't know if you've seen this, but in the EU they do this, and I think in America they're mandating it that like all new cars are gonna have a kill switch built into them. You know, in case you rob a bank and the government needs to like remote shut your car off. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Yeah, a remote kill switch. Like, I don't like that at all. Like, if I want to rob a bank, this is America. I have the freedom to do that. Put me in jail if you can catch me. You know what I'm saying?
Robbing a bank is like what the Wild West was built on.
You have a right to bear arms for a reason.
I have a right. They have a right to try and stop me. They don't have a right to remotely turn off my vehicle.
This is an unfair advantage. Yeah, so... No, I mean, in all seriousness, I think the real reason is if there's... I mean, maybe I'm like completely off and people will chirp me for this, but like if there's like an EMP that just annihilated all electronics, I want a car that is nothing but metal gears and sparks and like no electronics in this thing. I don't even want a battery. I want like I want like the old Ford where you're spinning the crank on the front and that's what sparks it. Like no EMP can destroy my vehicle.
No keys, nothing. I want something that I can just grip. I want the steering wheel to be made out of leather. I want it to be a triple manual stick shift with 5 clutches.
If the engine breaks down, I want pedals at the front seat where I can move that thing on my own.
I want a bicycle. I don't even want a car. I want Flintstones. Take me back. Yeah, so too though. But also, I'm like, if I'm on my ranch and the world ends, it's going to be hard to dig a well and get some gas. So I think that being able to generate power from like a river or from solar is going to make sense for my electric car. But I definitely I need a button to be able to pull that like disengages Wi-Fi and all the other stuff. Not Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
whatever, you know.
I think all of that's important, and then I would be down with like having my own wind turbine and like solar for a car, but I also would preferably like a ranch in Texas where I literally have like my own oil rig in the background just pumping gas. I know it gets a little bit tricky when I need to have an entire oil refinery probably on the property as well, but dude, I'll be set for life.
Do you think you only need one well to survive on for the rest of your life? Also, yeah, you can't just pump oil and get gas, right? Like you'd have to. There's a process.
You got to refine it. Yeah, I think. I think if I just have
your truck on oil.
But the problem is, it's not just a truck. It's like at that point, you might as well have a private jet, and then you might as well have like 5 different like locations all set up with like ranches with oil refineries that you could fly your jet from ranch to ranch. I mean, if it turns into like zombie apocalypse and maybe one ranch gets taken over, you need to be able to fly to the next.
Yeah, the zombies take over your gas and oil industry, and then they start a competing company, and they drive the price.
They start fueling their own jet and then following you to your next ranch to try to take you out.
You can't turn off the GPS from because it's like it was part of the legal thing to have like, you know, private jets have to be, you know, trackable.
I heard Zuckerberg, he turned off his private transponder for his yacht recently, and people are getting mad at him. He turned it off. Have them? Yachts have them too because they don't. It's like a liability thing in case there's a big shipping container running into you in the night. So you have all ships have to have like a transponder with their location.
Yeah, dude, imagine becoming a billionaire, founding one of the biggest tech companies in the world, and then getting a yacht, and then everyone on the planet just knows where you are all the time. That would suck.
And then they get mad if you turn your transponder off. Yeah.
Well, it's like Elon Musk getting mad at the guys who like have the Twitter account and just follow his jet around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think like the hyperlapse. There's a hyperlapse of Elon Musk's trips over like the last decade, and it just shows like the plane like he's been everywhere, dude.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. I think at this point, if he doesn't want people to track him, he should just get a jetpack that he can fly himself. And
I think he actually has an Iron Man suit.
Oh, there you go.
He's Tesla man.
I think all of this is pretty relevant because Mistral AI is open source.
Only him has a giant battery. He's Tesla man.
Yeah, an electric jetpack.
It's just like it's like an outhouse size battery like on his back.
The thrust it has to generate is like always getting like eaten by the size of the battery, and the bigger you make the battery, the more power it has to generate.
Yeah, he's like, when I was looking at the ratio, like the curve of like weight to, it's like the battery efficiency just had like the smallest edge over like the power thrust like needed to lift it. So it was like the more battery, like for every 10 pounds of battery, he got like an extra half second of lift.
So yeah. He's got like it's a Tesla semi truck just hooked onto his back. It's like
it's an airplane, but it's just
but it's just a big battery.
And he just straps himself to the outside so he can call it a jetpack.
Yeah. He doesn't need a transponder on it because it's not technically an airplane. It's just a jetpack.
He's wearing like a spacesuit. Can't breathe. It's like a super less cool version of whatever Iron Man made.
Yeah, we need some breakthroughs in battery technology to avoid that situation. Hey, if you enjoyed the podcast today, make sure to leave us a review. We're shooting for 1 million reviews, and we're getting closer every day. So every review you leave gets us closer to that goal. Hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day.